The country North Korea is usually looked at like a country full of military and propaganda. But after we take a look at these 5 people who vlogged their entire trip to North Korea, with the stories just getting more and more intense, your image of the country might change. And what better than to start off with a YouTuber named Indigo Traveler. This YouTuber went on a one-day trip to North Korea and vlogged everything he saw. And for the one day that he stayed there, he surprisingly did a ton of things. He visited statues, went to amazing restaurants, went to the demilitarized zone, and even had a full-on haircut by a professional barber.
Alright guys, so I've gone for this one, so let's try it out.
Now, when you think of North Korea, you probably think of how brutal and isolated it is. But this YouTuber Indigo Traveler actually had the best time of his life inside of North Korea.
Completely different than I expected. I mean, it's a lot more relaxed.
He said that before he went to North Korea, he was scared that he was never gonna make it back. And some people think that's reasonable because this guy did more in one day than any North Korean has done in their entire life. But Indigo Traveler's North Korea experience is nothing compared to a couple named the Travel Tellers. These two people had a rather weird experience than a fun and chill experience, and is actually the most recent vlog on this entire list. The couple sits down and talks about multiple parts of their experience to North Korea that were strange, but I personally find the fact that they were followed by cameras the entire time to be weird enough.
And the whole time we were followed by a cameraman who captured our whole experience. I don't know if he was actually filming or if it was more like showing us that someone is looking at us.
They also had more weird stuff happen to them, like being yelled at for folding some newspaper.
When you buy a newspaper, and of course on each and every single page of them there is a photo of the leader, so Kim Jong-un at the moment, but you're not allowed to fold the newspaper across his face. And it's also a little bit difficult because he is basically everywhere, and you can only fold it in that way that you don't fold his face. If some police guy or anyone sees that, you can get arrested for it.
The couple also thinks that they were set on the plane with full-on actors.
And the plane was very packed with lots of people. We don't know if these were legit people or if they were placed there. It was only men in suits.
Yeah.
The overall vibe from their trip really just felt super weird to them. But unfortunately, this couple's weird experience is nothing compared to NasDaily's North Korea vlog, which is actually the most popular North Korean vlog on this entire list. Now, NasDaily didn't really vlog his experience, but he did give a roundup on how it was and actually got some videos snuck out.
We just got checked. Luckily, they didn't steal our videos.
He started off his trip by taking a 24-hour train from Beijing, China to North Korea. NasDaily booked his trip with a guided tour group, which means he had to stay with his tour group the entire time or else he would get into big trouble. Now, unlike the other vloggers, NasDaily stayed a whopping 5 days inside of North Korea, and he personally stated that it was the most eye-opening experience of his entire life. And after he got back, NasDaily actually talked about how he got threatened while he was there.
So my tour guide, she was young and attractive. I kind of liked her. She was like really incredible. And we started to talk more and more, and we started to like each other. And then we held hands with a North Korean lady. It was crazy. And then the other guide, who's a guy, came to me and he said, "Be careful, don't go too close because we're watching you." And that scared the shit out of me.
He threatened you.
Scared the shit out of me. I was so scared. And I was like, okay.
Obviously a very scary experience, and some people even said that this was undoubtedly one of the riskiest videos NasDaily has ever did. And all of this made NasDaily feel like he was being controlled, which on the way back home, NasDaily cried. Now, because of this, we will probably never see NasDaily talk about North Korea again. He stated how depressed he was because he visited the country for a measly 5 days. But something I can talk about is the YouTuber named DrewBsky's trip to North Korea. Now, DrewBsky is a travel YouTuber with 4 million subscribers, and he has actually been to every single country in the entire world.
I've just entered Saudi Arabia, my 197th and final country.
And unfortunately, North Korea was amongst those 195 countries he had to go to. And his trip was early into his travel life, so this was his first ever intense and scary country.
This is before I had been to other intense countries. It's kind of my first one, so I didn't really know what to expect. and I remember the feeling of being extremely anxious.
As soon as he landed to North Korea, he went on a bus tour around the city Pyongyang. He stated that everything felt super staged. He had to stay with his group the entire time, and they were only taking him to the parts they wanted him to see.
Yes, it does feel very staged. They're only taking you to areas that they want you to see. That is completely understood, but it's also the same case in Turkmenistan. So that's just the way that it is in North Korea. There's a lot of people out walking around, but always curious like where they're going, because there's no street signs. Like you don't see like hospital or market. Like maybe people just know where they are, but it's really strange. You just have like all these big buildings. Most of them are empty. One of the tallest hotels in the world is this pyramid thing, and it's completely empty inside. So you do get this really weird feeling that everything is staged, but you really don't know because there's no facts about it. This is all just speculation.
Shortly after his bus ride, he went to go see multiple statues and buildings. He also went to a marathon.
I'm about to run in the Pyongyang Marathon. Look at all these people. Almost finished with the race.
And got to talk to some other North Koreans. But instead of being happy most of the time like Indigo Traveler, DrewBsky was rather depressed.
Obviously, there are some severe human rights issues in North Korea. I'm not going to get too into right now because it gets very political, but I definitely do not support them.
He said that no one was smiling when he was there and no one was really having fun. Now, with DrewBsky's trip being pretty depressing, it's time to bring some personality into the country, which I think the YouTuber Fun for Lewis is the perfect spot to top off this list. He has a funny and energetic personality, which is someone we would all love to watch to go to the most isolated country in the entire world. He took his trip to North Korea with one of his best friends named Lane, and they were both super excited when they first arrived.
I just can't believe we're actually here. They did go through our stuff. They took our phones of us. They like went through all the electronics, asked what things were on what. They like searched on my phone. That's about it. It's good.
Lewis did a ton of things inside of North Korea.
Are you enjoying today, Lane?
Oh my gosh, what a trip. We just had a conga train in the main library in Pyongyang. Great, what? History, baby.
And eventually even got the nerve to prank a military guard during his trip.
I just poked my head out of this porthole. I just totally scared the guy because I just popped out. I was like, hello.
Lewis also did other things like taught kids how to skate.
Yeah. Your name?
My name is
Jongwi Min. Lane? Louis?
Louis.
Jongwi Min.
Nice to meet you.
You want to keep?
Yeah.
You want to keep it? Here. For you.
Some people really respect Lewis for this because he just shows North Korean kids what having fun is actually like. And because Lewis and his friends are really good at surfing, he also showed some of the kids how to surf and was honestly just having the best time of his life inside the country. And I think we should give Lewis the title for the first person to have fun inside North Korea. Now, to finish off his trip of trying to bring some happiness to the country, he took pictures in front of the statues with his tour group and said goodbye. He said he's super sad that he can't keep in contact with the North Koreans.
I think it's sad that we're not going to be able to stay in touch. That's the thing I'm sad about.
So there you have it. That's 5 North Korean vlogs. Like and subscribe and click a new video on the screen right now.